Hello everyone, I'm Christian and this is Crypto Ripto, and I want to start today's video by wishing everyone a happy new year and I hope you had a great Christmas. But if you're like me, you're ready now to jump straight into crypto for 2022. But what does that look like? Well, I'm going to go through two videos. Today we're going to look at the more safer tokens that I want to bolster my portfolio with for 2022, and in the next video we'll look at more riskier tokens. But it's also important to add that I think the first quarter of this year, we're going to see the blow off top of altcoins. But leave a comment below if you agree that this is going to be the time for the blow off alt season. But this also is imperative for us now to get ourselves in a position with whatever tokens we want, with whatever exit strategy we're looking to do in order to front run so we make the most of these exponential gains. Stay tuned and let's get into the So before I start some video, I have to say that anything you see, hear or choose to ignore is not financial advice. No, this bad boy is here as always for your educational purposes only. And as we all know that from watching the videos in 2021. So what we're going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to keep today purely on the three tokens that I'm going to look at. These tokens are more safer choice, but I still think they've got a 2, 3, even maybe a 4, 5x from now until the blow off top of the alt season, if we're looking at the price chart as we do now. So I'm not going to go into the background and the technicals because all three of these are established altcoins and tokens. So today's first token we're looking at is Aave. Now this is the token that I have covered way when Aave was doing really well. And the reason I think this is going to do really well, because I think it is massively undervalued. Now, anyone that don't know what the Aave project is, you can go over to Aave's website and look about a bit of information about what Aave is. But it's all about the DeFi space. And I think that the blow off top is going to come in the form of the DeFi projects first. And then I think after this, they're going to trickle into more of the NFT projects. But there is a lot of information on Aave on their website. But for now, I'm just going to go into the price chart action to show you why I think there's a lot more upside in this token. So looking at Aave's kind of price chart action, you'll see that I've drawn a lot out here already from where I think Aave was at its low point since pretty much the beginning of the year. So if we look all the way down to January before Aave had its little shoot up, you can see that these kind of areas here are matching where Aave done a little bit of a bounce midway through December when Aave is at its low point. So it done one test here, shot up to highs, come back down, done a test around this action here, shot up, not as high as that because obviously it was shooting into an area where crypto was going a bit sideways. It shot back down. Now I think now looking into what's going to happen in 2022, I think Aave is now going to see a bit more kind of pump to the upside, and especially mixing in with the blow off top of the alt season, I think we could see Aave shoot above this 668 area. Now at the moment Aave is at a resistance line. It's a resistance line that's been sort of tested as support around these areas here, and also it was at a resistance line that's sort of being tested here and not far away from when we've done a little pump here. So I think this area at the moment is key. If we go above this area here into say the $300 mark and we turn this into firm support, I could see this as a good buying area. But for me, I want to see if it gets rejected away from this because we are consolidating a lot here, and this is the 4-hour time candle, and we could see Aave break out. But regardless of that, the reason I think Aave is really good potential at the moment is because even if you take it from the point it's at now around about here and you go to Aave where it was at all-time high and above, you're still looking at around about 1.5x. Now that for a safe coin is absolutely phenomenal. I know it doesn't in the crypto term of things think, okay, well, you know, cryptos do 10x, 100x. Yes, we will get onto them riskier coins, but I think if you want to outperform the crypto market before we have these blow off tops, you could be seeing these kind of, you know, 100% to 120% growths as key winners. So now let's move on to token number 2. Now that is Kusama. Now Kusama is again another kind of platform token for Polkadot. Now Polkadot is going to do absolutely amazing things. So this is another one that I was going to put on there, but I think people are saturated with Polkadot at the moment, and no dot's going to go to bigger and better things. So I thought, what better than look at one of the platforms that does reach out for the Polkadot way. Now KSM or Kusama or whatever you like to call it, for me has always been kind of a good performer with boom. So see, here's Kusama's price chart action. Now from all the way back in sort of early August, when that dip and the crash, Kusama was trading all the way down here, and it had a gradual steady up climb to this area here at 438 before it sort of shot down and has been going sideways. The reason I think Kusama's going to do great is, like, we're going to see great things from Polkadot, and Kusama's classed as really Polkadot's wild cousin. And for me, these sort of small trading areas here have just been a sideways action. We've seen no major pump or we've seen no major dump. So for me, this is a nice consolidation area. And if we look at Kusama's low kind of support areas are here from this price chart action, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 key areas in my opinion. You can see from where it is now up to its all-time high, we're going to again look at around about 140%. But I would be expecting Kusama to go to a lot higher potential than that in a blow-off top. So for me, I do think we are going to see a bit more movement in Kusama. Now, don't worry that it's $301 a token, because you only need to buy the portion you need. So the actual token price does not mean anything. With this, you need to look at the market cap. And as you can see here, in the last 24 hours, you've been seeing a lot of volume come in and a lot of movement on Kusama's trading, because a lot of people probably believe the same thing we believe. Polkadot's going to do great things and Kusama will start to follow. So for me, this has to be one that I was looking at as a steady grower. Straight into the third and final token, and it's one I cover a lot but still think vastly undervalued, and that is VeChain. Now VeChain to me has not been doing what it needs to do, and it does have crazy upsides and sometimes crazy downsides, but for me it's still an undervalued project, massively undervalued in the fact that it's still trading at like 8 cents. Now for me, I think this will probably have a 4x, if not maybe a 5x. The market cap for me is still quite low, and the volume that comes in does increase quite rapidly when this goes to, and it does recover well from its bottom kind of area of price action, which leads me straight into VeChain's price chart action to see where is it now and where has it been trading. Boom. So as we can see, VeChain has been hitting some quite lows and it has some major. You can see there's a lot more price chart action on VeChain than there was the other two, which gets me a little bit more excited about it. But you can see VeChain was trading below these kind of levels here at 6 cents. Now it's up to around about 8 cents here, but it has been trading as high as around 19 cents. So for me, VeChain is still massively undervalued, and going into a blow off top with VeChain being one of the higher tokens on the kind of market spectrum, we could see major gains in VeChain. So for me, I'm more excited about like VeChain than I am the other two, but I'm already heavily invested in VeChain. So this for me was just a top up of buying the dip, because VeChain was trading up here kind of beginning of November. We had that big crash downside and it didn't really recover from the bottom. It did a bit, but really the price chart was down there. It had its massive gain, some selling off. We're in this kind of accumulation buying area here. But even if we look at from where VeChain's price chart action is now to up to where the all-time high was, which again we're looking at about 118%. But I think VeChain's blow off top will be a bit more exciting than the other two. So we're looking at a 3 to 4x on this, and it is relatively cheap. Now I know a lot of people like to not look at the price of the actual token, but some people do, and with it only being 8 cents, people might look at that and think there's more buying potential there for me than there is, say, some of the higher price of the other two. So that is my quick free roundup of safer tokens looking into 2022 of what it is we're going to bolster our portfolios with in order to prime ourselves up for this blow off top that I think is coming in the first quarter or beginning next.